Me and some bros were talking about that. Because basically Chicago, it's the center point for transportation in the Midwest. All the trains come here, all the different freight comes off the train, or it might comes off the docks. Um, it's a brother who works in the docks, the brother Howard Shy, and basically he's been telling me how the docks is looking, man. He said they look the weakest that they ever been. It's looking the weakest they've ever been. The freight is slowing down. You got another brother who works for the train department. Works in the for the train. He works for the railway company. All right, saying the same thing. Everything is slowing down. All right. On top of that, the food that is coming is becoming so polluted and disgusting and full of chemicals and sewage and all of this stuff that brothers are mentioning. Like the health of people is starting to fail much faster at a much younger age. And I had a couple of articles I wanted to go over because this is all prophecy. Yeah, it's like a perpetual cold throughout the year that you can't get rid of, man. And as soon as I get rid of it, it just comes right back. And got to keep some hot tea in your system. You got to keep the herbs. You got to stay prayed up, of course. I'm gonna read this quick article. It says association between pesticide exposure and obesity. A cross-sectional study of 20,295 farmers in Thailand. Okay, this is in Thailand. And they show you the data, Let's get right to the information. All right, the results. Obesity was found to be associated with pesticide use in the past. The risk of obesity was significantly predicted by types of pesticides, including insecticides. And it goes through all the numbers, fungicides, rodenticides, all of this. And in the U.S., we use all of these, insecticides, herbicides, all of these. All right, conclusion, the study found obesity in farmers in Nakhon Sawan in Thailand to be associated with the long-term use of several types of pesticides. The issue should receive more public attention, and pesticide use should be strictly controlled. And this is why in Europe, they've banned all of these different chemicals, man. They banned all of these different chemicals where in America, you go and you look at the back of the label, all of that shit is still in our food, man. What's the one they just banned from Gatorade? It was like bromelain. And yeah, you gotta be a chemistry major walking around here, man. This is all of our food is it's a damn science lab of shit that we're eating. Really, it's best to just get back to the raw fruits, vegetables, the rawest form, and just make certain things yourself. But even with that, that's still polluted, man. This earth has to be cleansed, has to be washed. This particular part, Babylon, it's just got to be burned, because it's just to the foundation, man. It's fucked up. It's all kind of soy, all kind of pollutants in the air, all kind of shit in the water, forever chemicals, and you grew up using non-stick pans, and it's just so much shit that it'd be like, God, man, how the fuck am I still alive? But it's the Lord, man. When you look at like some of the last generations of Jakes who were exposed to as much, the 80s and the 90s, and those guys were a lot bigger, a lot stronger. they develop faster. These new kids, man, they're smaller, man. The stature, like the scriptures say, their stature has gotten weaker. Here's another one in CNN Health. Reducing pesticides in food, major food manufacturers earn an F grade. F. And on top of all of this, Jake's still buying pork. They're still buying shrimp, crab, all of the things that eat the shit, the feces of all of the animals that are clean and lawful to eat. You eating those animals. And all the things that the clean and lawful animals are eating is polluted anyway. So you eat, the trickle down is just horrible. That's why the scriptures say care of your meat. It talks about that, man. Bodily estate is better because even if you don't have, the most possessions of money or something, but you're healthy as a horse, that could take you a long way. When your body fails on you, your body shuts down on you, shit, you can't enjoy nothing else. It says 17 major food manufacturers earn an average grade of F. And you know who's buying up all the agricultural farms. You know who owns most of it, right? Look that up. For lack of progress in reducing pesticides in the products they sell, according to new analysis, many companies set pesticide reduction goals of 2025 or 2030 that appear to appeal to shareholders. Blah blah blah. Let's get straight to the information. Because these companies, they don't give a fuck. It says pesticides are also found in breast milk and umbilical cord blood, meaning that exposures start before birth and continue through infancy and beyond. So even in the womb, whatever that's in your mother's system is going in your system. That means generation after generation, as pollutants step up and ramp up, and these women become more polluted, and this land becomes polluted, then the children become more polluted. If this man was left in power, scriptures talk about, man, no flesh will be saved. We'd all be dead. They like a what was that, Mad Max, which that was bullshit. That's one of those fake post-apocalyptic movie, that bullshit. But basically everybody was like disease infected. The one dude has a breathing apparatus on. Ain't no food in the land. They drinking tainted breast milk and rodents and bug. All these different future movies show you that the food is run out. Who's in rulership? OE. They in space though. They're going to other galaxies, but the Earth is running out of resources. Yeah, because you guys polluted everything and destroyed everything. All right, it says an alliance of nonprofit science and donors with a mission of reducing babies' exposures to neurotoxic chemicals. Studies find the highest amounts of pesticides in some of the most popular food children eat, berries and apples, for example. Man, long-term exposure to pesticides has been linked to cancer, asthma, anxiety, Parkinson's disease, depression, and attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. Pesticides may enter the body through the eyes, the skin, eyes, lungs, and or mouth. All these things contribute to the curses that are upon us. I mean, damn, kale, look at this. Kale, collard, and mustard greens contain the largest number of pesticides, 103 types, while nearly 90% of blueberry and green, I mean, come on, man. Can't even have no greens. Because when you read up with Ezekiel, with the dung bread, You know, in verse 9, it tells you, take thou also unto thee wheat and barley and beans and lentils. What does it say? The chief, all these things are made for the chief principal use of man. Bread is one of those ingredients. And beans and lentils and millet and fitches, and put them in one vessel and make the bread thereof. So that bread should be very filling, according to the number of days that thou shall lie upon thy side. 390 days shalt thou eat thereof. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the sixth part of a hin, and from time to time shalt thou drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. So it's jam-packed with all this, like the actual Ezekiel bread in the store. It's jam-packed with all these things. They actually made, remade the bread. But even that bread is tainted. All right, everything that we eat here is fucking tainted. Because guess what? If the water is tainted, they're spraying man, what was it called? Homogeneous. Yeah, it was called homogeneous clouds. Man-made. Homogeneous clouds. Man-made clouds. Made from chemtrails. They can spray certain shit on the clouds, whatever the new chemical is that we don't know about. They spray shit on it. It rains on us. You see the residue on your car. You see the damn trees dying. You see that even the animals getting sick and having respiratory issues. Yeah, one of the things that this man is taking away from us is a connection to the earth. You know, like it says, when we get back in our land, it's gonna multiply the seed of man and the seed of beast. Yeah, you gonna have animals. You gonna have animals. Like right now, I'm in the middle of a field at a park, and all around I just see flowers. I see different herbs. Of course, you got weeds too. But this is what it's gonna be like, man. Not everywhere, because it talks about the kingdom and talks about Jerusalem, talks about gold, but that's in the city. Outside of that, you're actually gonna have things growing. So the trees gonna rejoice. Yeah, this man has attacked creation, literally. All right, that's who the elect go back to. That's what this warfare ultimately is about, man. Warfare against the Messiah and the elect, the anointed. All right, that anti-Christ energy, where I can't have it, then I'm just destroyed for everybody. Even the priests back then, they actually knew how to use different medicines, and we gotta, we have to get this back in our mind, because this is warfare. Because a lot of these videos, we do things and we do exposés, and that's good, because the scriptures say to do that, to expose this man, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, but thinking like a man of war. Now it's time for, a counter shot. All right, less processed foods, less certain types of meat. You might have to take some extra time just to wash it or whatever. A lot of these things, though, these chemicals are already embedded into the plant anyway. And ultimately praying and begging the Lord for mercy too. All right, because a lot of I go to a lot of these international markets here. Chicago has a lot of them, but even their stuff, they use fertilizers and they use different stuff on their stuff too. So this is Exodus though. It's Exodus 30 and 35. 34, and the Lord said unto Moses, take unto these sweet spices stacked and anika and galbanum, these sweet spices with pure frankincense, of each shall there be a like weight, and thou shalt make it a perfume, a confection after the art of the apothecary, tempered together holy and pure. The apothecaries, they can make things out of medicine. Like you look at cough syrup. Basically, cough syrup is modeled after honey, and then they put in the honey, you would put different herbs and stuff in the honey, and the honey doesn't go bad. It's a preservative as well, so you could put whatever in there, whatever you need, ginger, or ginseng. You could put whatever in there, and it'll dissolve into the honey. And that's the real medicine of the earth. Like in Edris, he talked about that. He's in the field of flowers. When you get you go to the store, you go to the tea section, you need to detox or something, get you some smooth move tea. And basically you look on the back, it's different flowers. It's senna, it's a bunch of them. I don't remember them all off the top of my head. That's basically what it is. Your bowels. Your bowels are basically, aka your gut, is like your second brain. Right? When the scriptures talk about that, it's like I understand in my bowels. Your colon is your second brain. A lot of times you gotta take a number 2, when your mind is clouded, you gotta clear yourself out. That's what scriptures talk about, being sober minded, man. You gotta. It's easy to just get drunk. You see the world wasting away and shit, but at the same time, we understand the Lord is coming. We understand we have to stay ready. We're the watchmen. We have to watch on behalf of the people. You don't have time to always be drunk and always, gorge yourself on food, man. Sometimes you gotta take that fast. You gotta go without that thing that you might be able to get. And that's all part of temperance. All right. So I had one more. And that's why I say, Exodus, Sirach 34:9 said, man that traveleth know many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. You go all over the country, you can see basically everywhere, Jake is at. Basically, they feed us the same food. They keep us on the same diet. Like Jake think that their recipes are so secret and no, man. You go to them for the want of all things. You go to the grocery store, certain things are higher. Like if I go to Issachar neighborhood, certain things are gonna be higher because they know they like them. You're gonna pay more for the tacos. You're gonna pay more for this brand of hot sauce or whatever. Then you go to the other side of town where Judah's at. That's the same stuff that was $4 over there is gonna be $2. Right? They play with the prices. They know what people buy. They know what people like. They do the stocks on it. All right? This is you have to remember, this is warfare. They do stocks, they do inventory, and then the government can access that information. They know, what the trends and what people are eating, and they know all of that stuff. So, like when you go to California, they have little spots where they actually have you pull through they have like an X-ray machine for the different tractor trailers. They'll pull you in. They can do random inspections. California basically has kind of European style rules for chemicals and certain things that are carcinogens. because California is a research place for a lot of drugs. We already know crack, you know, originates there. A lot of the drugs that come from the east, coming off of those different shipments, off of the docks there. The a lot of, you know, all of the names. I'm not gonna say them because they might flag my video, but that's where a lot of the stuff comes in. They do a lot of testing there. All right, they did a lot of testing in the hood, and you know, Jake in the hood, they taking all kind of, what is this shit called, butt naked, all that shit. That's got, they got, you know, you seen Friday. That stuff didn't get in by accident. That's one of the first places when the stuff comes through Mexico. That's one of the first places it hits. Everybody know that. You know, and that's through Esau allowing that and pushing for that stuff to come through. They showed you that in what's the movie, Sicario. All right, this is all part of warfare. Warfare isn't just, Scripture shows us that, man. Warfare is not just you know, somebody shooting at you directly, but you have indirect warfare. Your food, your education, transportation, the places you can go, and you know, yeah, you're free to travel, but they can pull you over at any time. They can pull you out your car, throw the cuffs on you at any time. All right, the things that you have access to know, all these different things, man, show us that we're in captivity. All right, so let's continue to call for the downfall of Babylon. And I'll call Haloyim Laya How by Shema Shai. Shalom to the elect. I'll see you next time.